Good Soul family, it's Annette aka Shorty Love, and I'm back with a reading, a collective reading for you guys. And in today's reading, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So I've been receiving a lot of prophetic dreams, a lot of words from Spirit. I connect very closely to Jesus as well, so I get a lot of prophetic words through Jesus. And lately I've been receiving messages for the collective about letting go and really releasing. And so some of you may have been experiencing this in terms of like, you might be experiencing phantom versions of the past, or even just like energetically the past sort of coming up to in your mind or in your memory or in your emotions to help you to release the stuff that you've been holding on to help you to release what no longer serves you. Because many of you are being called now, you're getting prepared, you're getting ready to step onto the next stage of your journey, or embrace your soul's path more fully and embrace your purpose more fully. But with all that lingering energy and residual energy, it's a little bit difficult to sort of move forward without like road bumps and speed bumps in the middle every step of the way. So Spirit wants it to be a much more smooth sailing path for you, where you're not, there's a couple of roadblocks here and there or a couple of bumps here and there, but they're just helping you to get to the other side. They're more so like little mountains that you have to climb on the way to, to climb the top of the big mountain. They're not going to be like every step you're taking, you're like, oh fuck, what is this? What is this? What is this? I have to deal with this again. So that's what Spirit's taking you through. It's almost like a little bit of a boot camp. And every time we're about to level up on our spiritual journey, now I've been on my soul path for a really long time now. It's almost been a decade since I started to walk my soul's path. The last 7 or 8 years I've consciously been doing it. I've consciously known that, yeah, this is my path. And when they have this saying that many are called, few are chosen. And the purpose of that saying is the ones that are chosen are the ones who actually pick up the call. They answer the call, right? The ones that are called but don't get chosen are the ones where they see, the universe is ringing and you're there, you got the green button, you got the red button, you're like, oh fuck, like this is it, it's all systems go. If I choose this, I can't go back. If I choose this, literally everything ahead of me is unknown. And so this fear rises up in people. So a lot of people actually reject the call, and then they go back into the matrix, or they go back into old karmic cycles and end up repeating loop after loop after loop. And they may at some stage later on down the track get the call again, because they may have dealt with enough karma to be able to now receive the call. And then it's up to them. So I feel like some of you may have received a call that you weren't ready for in the past, but now Spirit is saying you're ready, your soul is ready, your spirit is ready now to really experience what it is that you came here to do, to step onto your soul's mission, your divine path, your divine purpose. Those of us who are on our path, those who consider themselves chosen, those who are starseeds, we know about this, right? When we picked up that phone call, when we pressed the green button, we weren't fearless in that moment. We did have fear in that moment, but it was picking it up and actually being like, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and all this anxiety is coming up and all this tension and all this nervousness is coming up, because you're like, shit, I'm about to go from the known into the unknown. But every single time you pick up that call, you lose some fear and you build some faith. Every single time you take charge of your own life, every time you take your divine destiny into your own hands, you lose a little bit of fear. So a little bit of the fear falls off and a little bit of the faith comes online. And eventually you go from fear and faith being here to like boom, or maybe your fear was up here and your faith was down here, but eventually they align, and then eventually the more you keep going, the more your faith continues to rise. So this is where we're at, fam. It's okay for you to go in right now and process. It's okay for you to cry it out. It's okay for you to scream it out, journal it out, sing it out, rap it out. That's what I do. And dance it out, play a sport and take it out in the sport, and if it comes up as anger or aggression, go to the gym, man, box it out, do whatever you gotta do to get it out at this time, because it's really gonna help you move forward. You can script it, you can literally do some shadow work at this time that's gonna be really helpful for you. Just grab a journal, a blank piece of paper, and just start writing. Write it all out, get it out from your system and onto paper. And once you read it, you're probably gonna be surprised at some of the stuff you've been carrying. You're probably gonna be surprised at exactly how much of that energy was most likely blocking you. And then you can just burn it out, sage it out. Fire neutralizes the energy. Fire neutralizes negative energy. So it's really a good idea to burn it out and to sage it out, so that the sage can remove all the toxins that have come up from that negative energy and you're no longer carrying it in your field. So Spirit has been showing this to me in many different ways. I've been receiving it through dreams, I've been receiving it through words, I'm even receiving some intel right now. But before we continue and before we get into the reading, I just want to make sure that my camera is facing the right way, because I just kind of press record and I'm not even like, the camera's not facing me, it's facing the other way. So I don't know if this is even like, I don't know what time it is right now. Okay, so be right back. All right, now that I know what time it is, okay, the recording's working, it's all good, everything's all good. So as I was saying, in today's message, it's all about the release, the letting go, so that you're creating space for the new. You're allowing the new to come in, you're opening up to receive. It's only when we truly open up and let go of that baggage, let go of that energetic baggage, fam. And one thing I want to say about healing energetically, people are very quick to want energetic and mental healing to happen like this. They want it to happen overnight. And yes, energetic healing is pretty quick in terms of, you know, when you compare it to physical healing. But what you need to do is you need to understand that, for example, you're driving and you have a major collision, right? And your entire body is in shambles, like completely fucked from head to toe. Mentally, you're going to know that it's going to take you a little while to heal from that. You're automatically going to be like, man, I'm out for 6 months, or I'm out for a year, or however long it takes for your limbs and your muscles and your organs to reconstruct and heal themselves. And so when it comes to our body, we give ourselves time. We're so much kinder with ourselves. We're so much more patient, right? But when it comes to mental healing and energetic healing and emotional healing, people just expect it to happen like overnight. You need to reconstruct that thought pattern, fam, and understand that we should be just as patient, just as kind, just as loving, just as nurturing to ourselves when we're going through emotional and mental healing. And we should be giving ourselves time for it, because it's very similar to have a physical injury and you need to take time out. It's the same sort of thing. Give yourself time when it comes to emotional wounding and trauma and mental healing. It takes time, fam. If it took us, from 0 to 7, they say that's when our subconscious mind is the most receptive to absorbing and accepting thoughts as real. So if it took you 7 years to build a certain habit of thinking or a certain limiting belief system, or this is just your mindset and that's how you've been, then it's going to take you a little bit of time. At least give yourself at least 7 months, at least 7 weeks, just to like reprogram a thought. Because yes, people say 21 days it takes to reprogram your subconscious mind, and it takes 66 days to build a new habit. But again, you want to, once you've ingrained that habit in, you want to make sure that you're still working on it. It's kind of like you get a brand new car, you're going to keep getting it serviced. You're not just going to expect that from the time that you get it to 50 years from now, it's just going to be like smooth sailing. You're going to have to change the oil from time to time. You're going to have to give it a quick service. You're going to have to give it a quick tune up. You're going to have to change the tires from time to time. Otherwise, you're just going to be running lopsided. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself that time to really process, especially trauma and traumatic experiences. Many of you who are being called, many star seeds, many chosen ones, many light workers, people who are here on a divine mission, people who know that they came here for a specific purpose at this time. To be born into this time, what we're going through as a collective in this time right now, is a big thing, fam. You knew you were coming for this. You knew your light was going to help people through this, right? It's a big thing. So first of all, you need to acknowledge that. You need to accept that. You need to give yourself a bit of a kudos for actually having taken up the assignment. Now it's time to get into alignment with your assignment. So now it's time to be prepared. Before you answer that call, you got to be mentally prepared, spiritually prepared, physically prepared. Spirit doesn't expect you to be perfect at all. Like, that's, in any sense of it, don't take me the wrong way, but Spirit does expect you to know what you're about to get yourself into, fam. Because walking your spiritual path, it is the most fruitful but hardest path you will ever walk, because you're constantly in the unknown. You're not sticking to the matrix. You're not holding on to things. You're not holding on to things. You're learning to let go. You're learning to shed. And that is one of the greatest gifts of spiritually awakening, is learning how to let go, learning how to shed, learning that the more you shed, the more you kind of realize that needing nothing is what brings everything, right? So understand that your body is your vessel, it's your temple, it's your vehicle through life, right? It's the vehicle that your spirit and your soul is aligning with, the energy of your soul is aligning with, to move through planet Earth, to move through the 3D reality. So you have to take account for your physical vessel, body. You have to take account for how you're mentally thinking. You have to be mentally, mental health is very important. Mental wellness is very important. So mind. And then you have to spiritually, energetically cleanse and purify yourself and ground yourself every single day. Soul. But that's what MDP is all about. It's all about mind, body, and soul, bringing that all in together and merging the physical and the spiritual, because we're not one or the other, we're all of it. We're yin and yang, we're the whole thing. We're not just light, we're darkness too. We're not just darkness, we're light too. And many people who are on this path have experienced the darkness to some extreme extents. That's why when we embrace the light, we love it so much, and we really truly appreciate it for what it is. We value it for what it is. We respect it so much because we know what it's like to be in darkness. Spirit is helping you to go through all these experiences now, so that when you get onto the path, when you pick up that phone call, you're ready, fam. You're ready to go. You're in it. You know what I mean? You're in it till the very end. And you're gonna have to do a bit of maintenance. You're gonna have to do more grounding work. You're gonna have to meditate more. But these are the things, fam, that are gonna keep you going. These are the things that are going to help you. The meditation, it's like putting fuel in your car. Without putting fuel in your car, you're going to run out, you're going to burn out, you're going to be exhausted, right? So the meditating every day, grounding yourself every day, bringing light into yourself every single day is what's going to fuel you and keep you going. The more you can do it, the more you're going to keep growing, right? All right, guys, let's get into the reading. With the messages and the dreams I have a lot of them, fam. And there are some particular ones, but I feel like today we just want to focus on the releasing and letting go. And I'm feeling really drawn to do a little bit of a sound healing and a mantra meditation with you guys after this to help you with that process. And you can tune in and you can chant along, or you can just feel into the energy and allow yourself to release the old and bring more peace and more light codes of peace into your body. That's also going to help you when it comes time to pick up that call. Again, fam, the only way to get through fear is to actually feel the fear and do it anyway. That's the best way. That's the best way that you build your confidence. Because on the other side of it, you're like, oh yeah, it was just false evidence appearing real. It hasn't even happened. I was holding myself back because of a fear of something that hasn't even happened, You got to think of it in a positive way. What if it does work out? What if this is the thing that I'm meant to be doing that I'm holding myself back from? And if you don't pick up the call, that's fine too, fam. You might have a couple more cycles, a couple more karmic things to learn, a couple more lessons to learn. And then, if you're ready and you're open, Spirit will call you back up again. Because, now your number's available. Now it's not your phone's, you're not on the line. Now they can get through. You know what I'm saying? So just be patient with yourself. It's okay. And with the rest of the messages, like I said, I'm trying to do the same thing right now. Be patient. I'm going to bring them through in different videos as time goes along, when I feel like the collective is ready to hear certain messages and align with them. So let's get into today's messages. I'm going to do a quick prayer. So it is. All right, guys, let's see. Before I started this recording, I did see the Three of Swords in reverse, and I saw the Nine of Cups upright. So that's talking about, in reverse, it means, you're releasing the heartbreak, you're releasing the pain, you're releasing the old energy, and now starting to embrace, or just starting to see yourself even as like the Nine of Cups, and realizing that's not who I am. The pain is not who I am. What I went through is not who I am. The trauma is not who I am. It was there to teach me. Trauma is a gift, fam. And when I do a light language and speak more about trauma, I'm going to tell you how trauma is a gift, because I, for one, have been through a lot of trauma in this lifetime alone. But I've been through many lifetimes that Spirit has allowed me to see into, where I have experienced extremely traumatic events, which I probably couldn't relate to people in this lifetime about those things, but because I've seen into what I went through in those lifetimes, I can actually empathize with people when it comes to certain things. So, trauma, once you realize that it's actually there to help you become the greatest version of yourself, that it's actually there to help you to realize your gifts and your abilities as a healer, that it's actually there to help you to realize your light and your power more, you're going to actually be grateful for the trauma. But at the time when you're experiencing it, it really doesn't feel that way. I understand, fam. So we'll get more into that as time goes on. So I'm just having a look. There's some cards are flying out onto the floor. Yes. Yes. Okay. I think I'm just going to leave it at that many cards for this deck, because this is literally telling this the whole story. So we've got the Four of Swords, the Seven of Wands, right? So these two cards right here, you may be feeling, or you may have gone through a recent period, or you may currently be going through, or you may be about to go through the Four of Swords type of energy, where you're just kind of like needing to take that time out to go in and heal, needing to take that time out to just rest. You might be feeling exhausted. You might be feeling, you know, overly bombarded with things, or at times you might have like really high energy peaks, and then all of a sudden you're just like down. So I highly recommend, when you're high, in those higher states of being, milk it, fam, milk it, you know. Add more to that vibration, you know, utilize that energy to do things that are going to help you when you go back into that sort of plateau sort of stage. The more you can integrate, the more you can keep yourself in a high vibration and keep maintaining that high vibration by doing things that are going to bring you into alignment. Things like yoga are really good. Things like light language, things like Reiki, things like guided meditation, where you literally don't have to do anything but just lay there and be open to receive. Lay there and set the intention to receive, and then you're going to be receiving it. You know, that's how powerful you are. You literally just lay down and allow the universe to work through you, for you. So in this Four of Swords, I always say people don't realize that none of these swords are actually inside of you. You're now laying on top of that sword, which means that you now know the truth, you know the clarity, you have the clarity of the situations that have been happening around you, that have left you feeling, you know, depleted, left you feeling lesser than or not good enough, or left you feeling like you weren't worthy enough to step into your truth. And the rest of the swords, they're up here, they're on the wall, and they're just there as reminders, fam. They're like the trophies, or even the certificates that you have to remind you of all the shit that you've been through, but you're still here. You know, all the stuff that you conquered and you triumphed through, you're still here. You're still alive. You're still breathing, you know, and that's the main thing. And you're overcoming that now, right? You're starting to realize that, yes, there's been frustrations. Yes, there's been annoyances. Yes, there's been blockages. Yes, there's been fears. Yes, there's been trauma. Yes, there's been wounding. But you hold the wand. You hold the sword. You've got the Ace of Swords here. So you're realizing, you're like literally laying on top of that sword. So you've got the truth and clarity. And you've got all this other truth and clarity, like reminders of what you've been through, battle scars, right? You've got the reminders, and scars are beautiful, fam. Scars are there to remind you that you made it. You made it. I made it, I made it, I made it. I don't know what that was about, but I made it. You know what I'm saying? So this Ace of Swords is what's coming in to help you now cut out the old stuff that's been keeping you back. Cut out the stuff that's been holding you in this sort of energy, you know. Conquer, keep climbing, conquer each mountain as you go. You've got your, like, what do they call it, like the stave thing, the stick, and you're just freaking, it's the pilgrimage, right? You're going up the hill every step of the way. You're picking away at it. So this Ace of Swords is helping you now with this clarity of knowing that, you know, what you've been through isn't who you are. What you've been through only served to strengthen you and give you more power in yourself. What you've been through only served to help you understand who you are on a deeper level, and what it is that you're here to do, and more of what it is that you're here to do, like what actually brings you to life, right? Those things have helped you understand that about yourself. So this Ace of Swords is helping you to realize this is the truth of the situation. This is what has happened, but that was who you were. What is your truth now? What is your truth that you're adopting from this point forward? Who are you becoming? Who have you become through that process? Who have you become through the churning of life? You know, it's churned and it's churned and it's churned, and it becomes something, right? It's kind of like when they're creating fermented food like kombucha or something, right? It takes a period of time for it to ferment. And so that healing process is where you're like going in and you're fermenting and you're getting, you're eliminating the sugars and you're getting all the good out of it. You're getting the good bacteria, the probiotics and the prebiotics coming out of it, right? And that's going to become your truth, the good stuff, right? The good stuff that comes to the top, and that's the stuff that you drink. That's going to become your truth. So once you have your truth, all the other stuff that's sort of like, you sift and sort, and all the crap that comes out that's not the good stuff, the moldy shit, the shit that needs to be thrown away, you're going to be able to see that clearly, and you can cut those things out of your life, and you can cut those. When I say cut, I don't mean that you have to, especially when it comes to things like family or friends or relationships. If there are certain relationships in your life that you know are toxic, they do not serve you, they're dysfunctional, they're narcissistic, they leech off you, they're energy vampires, that sort of thing, and you know that those people most likely are not here to change in this lifetime, in this incarnation. They're not here to grow, they're not here to evolve, they're not here to heal. They don't want to do the healing. They just want to stay in that low vibrational state and suck energy off other people. You can, but you love them, right? You still love them regardless, because you can just see, like, it's all part of the learning, it's all part of the growth, it's all part of the contrast to help you grow and develop and become your greatest version. So you're grateful to them for it. You can still be connected to them, like you can still, love them, but learn to love them from afar. You don't have to like slice them off and cut them off and dice them off and never ever speak to them again, right? Especially if you're somebody who is an empath and you just want to love them, right? Regardless of how they are, you love them anyway. You understand that that's just their level of consciousness and they don't want to grow out of that, and that's okay, but you want to expand yours, right? So obviously to expand yours, you do have to like remove yourself from certain situations. You do have to sort of cut off certain, like the amount of time you spend with these people. You can cut off the amount of energy that you give to these people. You can, limit, basically, is what we're saying. Limit how much of your time, how much of your energy that you're giving to people who are not serving your highest good at this point. Right? Because it's just going to keep you in that old cycle. It's going to keep you stuck to the norm. It's going to keep you stuck to the way of doing things that is no longer serving you, right? And you know this. So you don't have to like slice and dice them off. I mean, if they have done something to the extent where you feel that the best thing for you to do in your safety is to cut them off, by all means, go right ahead. But Spirit is saying this sort of truth gives you the power to decide and discern how much of yourself you want to give in situations and how much of yourself you need to make sure that you pull back and you reserve your energy and you preserve your energy, because you're not just here for the Niji Jivan, which means like you're not just here for just you and your family and you're gonna, you feed them, they feed you, you make heaps of money, you buy them big houses and you buy yourself big houses and you all just go off and you live in your big houses. You're here for a big purpose, fam. You're here to help and serve humanity. It's bigger than just this. It's so much bigger than this. That's why you had so much pain here, because it was the boot camp. It's helping you to get ready for when you get out here, right? Because when you get out into the real world, fam, people are going to come at you from left, right, and center, and you have to be prepared for that, right? Spiritual warfare it's been around since the beginning of time. Spiritual warfare, every single person who walked this earth that was here to help humanity, that was here to uplift Mother Earth's vibration, was, targeted in spiritual warfare, because the darkness wants to remain in control. That's all there is to it. You don't have to go into all the karmic and who's doing this and who's doing that. Yeah, people might be doing a whole bunch of shit. But at the end of the day, when you're this person, you know your truth, when you're aligned with the divine, when you pray not to get something from God, but simply to be close to the energy of God, simply to be at one and at peace with the energy of God, you're going to be looked after, fam. It doesn't matter who does what to you. You're always going to come out of it. You're always going to be able to heal yourself. You're always going to be able to triumph, and you're going to get better, and you're going to get stronger, and you're going to get wiser, and you're going to come back every time. Right? Spiritual comebacks all day, every day, right? So you got to be prepared for the spiritual warfare and the shit that you grew up in, the war zone, which is what I call it, because that's how I felt as a child. The war zone that you grew up in prepared you. It was boot camp for what you're gonna have to deal with in the external, like when you get out into the real world and you start to help on a massive scale, right? Jesus had spiritual warfare pitted against him. Buddha had spiritual warfare come against him. Shiva had spiritual warfare come against him. Shakti had spiritual warfare come against her. You know, you have to be prepared, fam. That's where that's what makes a chosen one a chosen one. The person who is prepared to face all that and prepared to, at this stage, fam, honestly, and you know, this might, you know, like trigger some people, but this is just my truth and I'm going to share it with you because I feel like it's going to help some of you. At this stage, I'm not afraid of death, right? For a long time, I knew if I get on this path, you know, I have to be prepared in that way, right? And I was like, man, you know, if I speak the truth, if I say it how it is, if I talk about the matrix, if I start to help people to unplug, if I start to help people to get their power back and step into their power and get their life back, I'm going to be a target for the Agent Smiths and the ops, and I'm going to be a target for the negative energy coming at me to try and stop me. That's been happening to me since the day I was born. That's been happening to me since I came out the womb. People have been trying to stop me. Entities working through people who are void of spirit have been trying to stop me. But at this stage in my journey, fam, I love what I do so much, and I love the fact that I'm working as a vessel for spirit so much that death doesn't scare me. I don't fear death. For me, it's like, even if they kill my physical body, they'll never be able to end my soul. They'll never be, my spirit is eternal. They can't take that from me, fam. So even if they kill me before my time, which, you know, it's going to be, you know, it's fucked. It's going to be hard for them to do that. I'll tell you that much. I got that much faith. It's going to be hard for them to do that. But even if they try to take me before my time, I'm going to come back and I'm going to finish it off. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do it again. You know what I'm saying? So they can keep trying, but I'm going to just keep coming back. And if not, then I'll be working in the spiritual realms, making it happen, you know? So that's how much faith this journey and this path gives you when you pick up that phone call. You don't even care about death anymore because you know it's inevitable. You're not here to live forever, eternally. Your spirit lives eternally. Your physical vessel has to go at some point anyway. So as you grow, as you spiritually awaken, as you heal, as you evolve, you start to realize that you detach from your physical vessel. You detach from, you know, hoarding and being stuck to people and needing things and needing people, needing things outside of you. You just go in and everything comes straight to you. That's part of the law of attraction. It's part of the law of energy. It's part of the law of exchange. It's how it all works, fam. And again, this channel is just starting to like develop at this time. So all of these things I'm going to get more in depth about. All of these things I'm going to talk to you about. How I was able to manifest by just sitting down, shutting up, closing my eyes, and just allowing things to come to me, you know. It's not about the chase. It's about aligning. It's not about hustling. It's about aligning, right? The healthy way of doing life, which we were not programmed to do, but we're reprogramming ourselves for that. And this sword of truth helps us to get that mental clarity, physical clarity, emotional clarity, to be able to move forward and know that no matter what happens, as long as you're on your path, fam, like me doing all this is me being on my path, is me being on mission. It's me doing what I came here to do, right? It's part of my purpose to help people. Music is also a big part of my purpose, but this is also a part of my purpose, right? So that's another reason why I don't fear being taken out at all, because I know that the day before I did what I was supposed to do. I know on that day I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, you know. And the only time you'll fear death is if your soul and your spirit knows you're not in alignment with your assignment. You're not doing what you came here to do. That's why a lot of people get stuck in the in-between realm, because their soul, their spirit is, in Hindi it's called like tarpe, which means like it's anxious. It feels like it didn't complete what it came here to do. It feels like it wasn't doing what it was here to do. So they get stuck in that realm, and it's very hard for them to liberate themselves. And then they go back into that cycle of being reincarnated, born again, and given another shot. But in another shot that you get, then you got all the shit that, you know, from the past life that you didn't deal with come into this life, plus this life, right? Which is next level healing for that person, you know what I'm saying? So if you can start now, you know, chip away at little bits and pieces and get on your path, you're going to know that you're doing what you came here to do. And that's the greatest achievement. That's the greatest. It's so fulfilling, fam. It's so fulfilling to know that Even if they take you before your time, you did what you came here to do. You were aligned, you know. If you look at people like Tupac, he knew he was doing what he came here to do. He knew that, and he embodied the darkness and the light so well. I love that guy. I love that guy. If I was to look up to someone ever, it was Park. And I never idolize people. I'm not one of those people who idolizes people, because I think people are all just people. But it's his soul. It's his presence. It was his essence that I really, as a little girl, I always looked up to him. I was like, this guy knows what he's talking about, you know? And he had so much faith and so much trust and so much conviction in what he did, that even when they put him in jail, even when they threw, you know, all types of trials and tribulations and crap in his way, all the adversity that came against him, and he just kept going. He had so much spirit. And that's why we have to ground that spirit, because we all have so much spirit too, fam. And like I said, I'm darkness and light too. So if I don't ground myself every day, I can go Kali real quick, right? I can go Kali on people's ass real quick and start using this sword to bring great destruction. But my strength is in knowing that I'm the lion, and in also knowing that I am the part of me that tames the lion. So I'm Parvati and I'm Kali at the same time, and together I am Shakti, right? So yin and yang coming together, bringing it together, bringing the physical and spiritual aspects of yourself together. You don't have to deplete yourself of the physical and completely, like, you know, let go of all your physical characteristics and physical traits and dressing up a certain way and being who you are, expressing yourself through your physical vessel. You don't have to release that to be spiritual. To be spiritual means to know that you are spirit in physical form. It does not mean that you are void of the physical and material reality, because we are here on a 3D plane, on a 3-dimensional physical material reality. But it does mean that you can integrate more higher dimensions of your spirit while you are still walking in the physical reality. And eventually, when you get to a really high dimension, you might just want to transcend, and you might want to liberate yourself, samadhi. And that's completely up to you at that point, you know. It's up to each individual. And if they feel like they've completed what they came here to do, they might go into samadhi and they might find moksha, and that's fine, you know. But you really don't have to be in one or the other. It's about allowing them both to work simultaneously together. It's about enjoying your physical life while you're here, because your spirit came here to experience itself in physical form. So you must be happy in your physical life. You must enjoy in your physical life. You don't have to deplete yourself and never eat again and da-da-da-da, you know, just to get spiritual enlightenment. You will get very spiritually enlightened by fasting. I fast a lot. You will definitely be able to integrate more. But that doesn't mean that you fast, you know, for the rest of your life, and you don't give your body the nourishment and the food that it needs to survive and to keep your spirit, you know, in the physical reality, grounded. So it's like Buddha's way. Buddha went the middle way. If you check out Buddha's story, he went the middle way. He realized that he didn't want to be in one or the other. He wanted to bring both and help others walk their path the middle way. So for me, I resonate with that very much, where I feel like I walk the middle way. I'm not ever going to shun my physical side, and I'm never going to shun my spiritual side. They both mean just as much to me while I'm here. And that's my personal, you know, that's how I like to live my life. For you, it may be something different, but this strength is in accepting what it is for you. You know, just like I've accepted what it is for me and I've acknowledged what it is for me, it's about you accepting what it is for you. What is the truth for you? What is this sword for you? What is this clarity for you? What does it mean to you to be in your power, to be in your strength like this? You know, I have a friend that calls me Simba, and I never used to understand it back then, but it makes so much sense to me now. You know, Simba was the king of the jungle, but he didn't know that. He didn't realize that. And it came to a certain point in his life where he was taken back to his you know, kingdom, and then he realized who he was when he came up against Scar, spiritual warfare, the darkness and the light, right? What you must realize, when the darkness comes against you, the holes that they dig for you, they're going to fall into themselves. So you literally don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to, you don't, because the wind will do it for you. The universe will take care of it for you. The Most High will take care of it for you. All the shit they send you, send it up to the Most High. I don't even do reversals, and I'll talk about that in another video and why I don't do reversals. I straight up transmute it. I'm an alchemist, you're an alchemist, we're all alchemists. We can transmute that energy, we can send it up to the Most High, goodbye. Let the Most High deal with that, you know? Let the Most High bring the judgment and the karma, because as human beings, we're not supposed to be judging, we're not supposed to be trying to bring karma onto other people. We're just meant to heal our own, deal with our own, neutralize our own, and keep walking our own path. That's what gives us the strength to keep going, fam. So this lion, you know, like I said before, you can become Kali, you can go into Bhairav, which is like one of Shiva's really hectic avatars, and so you can go into either one, whether you're male or female, right? But it's about learning how to tame the lion, tame your beast. And yes, it can come out when it's required. You know, if it's really required, where your Kali or your Bhairav energy needs to come out and show the world what time it is, by all means, you know. But your strength and your power is in your peace. It's in knowing that you can tame this lion within you, and you can be Simba, and you can, you know, it's your peace, it's your calm, it's your poise that gives you this strength, that gives you that, you know, when you show up, people can feel that energy. People can feel your vibration. You don't even have to, like, you know, say it that, you know, I'm so powerful and I've, you know, you don't have to walk around like this. You don't have to do none of that. It's your energy will speak for you. Your energy will speak volumes for you, you know. And when you can balance your masculine and feminine like that, and when you can step, you know, this character here, I always feel like it's got the infinity symbol, right? So it knows how to go in and out. It knows how to be in Parvati. It knows how to go into Kali, kind of like the Kundalini energy. Like it can go in between all aspects and areas of its multidimensional self and accept all of that as itself, accept all of it as its own. You know, I am. The I am presence, the I am energy. I am nothing and I am everything at the same time. And in between is where, you know, all of that nothingness and everything merges into the one. We are one, you know, one with everything, one with all. And so when you can harness your energy and you heal the anger, you heal the resentment, you heal the stuff that would make you react, you know, out of any energy that doesn't really that isn't really an accurate reflection of who you are, then you step into this strength. Then your solar plexus is like beaming, it's online, it's ready to go. You're ready to pick up that call because you're like, you know what, I'm not going to utilize my power and my energy to destroy and bring destruction to others. I'm not going to utilize my power and my magic and my magician energy and my alchemist energy to bring ill and malice into the world and hurt other people with it. I'm not going to be doing all this dark stuff with my power. I'm going to utilize my power for the light. I'm going to utilize my power to bring peace. I'm going to utilize my power to bring strength to myself and to others and empower others and uplift others. I'm going to utilize what I have been given and be grateful for what I have been given so that I can receive more. And I'm going to utilize it to the benefit of all. Because as I help others, I'm helping myself, because we really are all one. Right? But if we're searching for that power outside of ourselves, or we're going to other people or practitioners, or, you know, getting things done, people do shit like this all the time these days. Again, I'll talk about it in another video. I don't want to interrupt the energy of this video, right? With the dumb shit. Basically, that's what I call it. When people talk about dark arts, I call it dumb shit, because there's nothing artistic about it. But you know, you don't want to go outside and seek for that power. And truly, when people look for God outside as well, when they're searching for spirit outside of themselves, they're looking for God, they're always going to feel disconnected. They're always going to feel void of spirit because they haven't found God within. You must go within, fam. God, this strength, this spiritual energy is inside of you. Once you realize spirit's essence and God and the spark of source within you, you will begin to see source in everything. You will begin to see God create source in everything. And that's what they mean by the oneness of all things. That's what it means by unity consciousness. That's what it means by we are all one. That's when you'll start to see God in trees, in birds, in bees. You'll start to see God in everything, in like in these cars, in your hands, in literally everything around you. You'll be like, God is right here. I don't have to get out of myself. I don't have to go to the temple. I don't have to go to the church. I don't have to go anywhere to find God. I can just sit right here and connect and find spirit within me, you know. And that's when you truly start to understand yourself as a spiritual being in a physical vessel. And that is your strength. when you start to really hone in on that strength, and you start to bring those two energies together of your masculine and your feminine, you start to align your physical and your spiritual, you start to align your Parvati and your Kali, then you realize your Shakti energy. Then you're like, okay, all right, I know what time it is. I'm a very powerful being, and that is my strength, that I am able to utilize this energy and harness it in such a way that it's not destructive and it's not going to bring complete chaos, but it's going to actually neutralize any negative energy. It's going to neutralize any chaos. It's going to transmute the negative into positive. It's going to turn shit into gold, right? Because there are a lot of people in the world who want to experience that, but what they do is, instead of looking within themselves, they look outside. So it becomes, instead of shit turning into gold, it becomes a rock, and they spray paint the rock gold, and then they show everyone, this is my golden rock, right? It's not about that, fam. It's really an inside job. It's all spirituality, understanding yourself on a spiritual level. It's all an inside job, all of it. And when you go in and you do that inside job, then you realize who you really are. You are the star. You are the star of your show. You are the creator, the director, and the producer of your own reality. What kind of story do you want to leave behind, fam? What kind of story are you creating right now? What kind of movie do you want to leave behind for those who are going to come after you and watch and be inspired by, and it's going to help them on their journey, because they're going to realize all your trials and tribulations might actually make sense to them, or they might be able to resonate or relate, and they'll see how you got through it and you kept going, and it's going to inspire them. You are the star. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you transmute negative energy into positive energy, the more the universe gives you the Shakti energy to continue to keep transmuting and to continue to keep going, to continue to download light codes, to continue to receive messages from spirit and source, to continue to receive prophetic images, prophetic visions, prophetic dreams, prophetic words. You know, the more you give, the more you receive. So once you start receiving, don't hoard it, fam. That's my biggest advice to anybody. You know, I'm just a guide. I'm not a spiritual guru. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to live, but I am here as a guide. That's why I call myself a transcendental healing guide. People call me as a coach as well. I coach people, I help people, I mentor people, but for me, I'm more of a guide. I'm never going to try to force you to do something you don't want to do. I'm never going to tell you that this is how I did it, so this is how you should do it. I'm just going to show you the tools. I'm going to lay the tools out and the resources out that have helped me on my journey, the tools and resources that I've come into contact with and in alignment with. Put them on the table, and if any of it resonates with you, you're more than welcome to pick it up and try it and see if it works for you. If it doesn't, try something else, fam. That's fine. You know what I mean? I'm just here to guide you back to this, to help you to go into your own ability to heal, to help you to realize your own power of how you can master, manifest, and create your own reality. I'm not here to be the person that people come to do that for them. I'm going to be the person who's going to be like, see that right there? That in there? That's your power. That's the key. You are the lock and you are the key, and all you got to do is unlock yourself, and boom. You know, it's all systems go. Boom. You're going to be overflowing in this star energy. You're going to have everything you need, everything you want. The universe is going to deliver you the prosperity, limitless prosperity, so that the last thing you ever have to worry about is finances ever again. You know, you just are able to walk your path. You're going to be fed. You're going to be nurtured. You're going to be loved. You're going to be cared for. It's kind of like, and there's this bird here. I was just about to talk about birds, right? There's a bird here. So the birdies come every single day to my house, and you know, we feed them, and I feed them before I eat. It's just a habit that I have. I feel like, you know, if I give to them, I'm always going to be fed type thing as well, right? And I just feel like they're my messengers. Birds are always, you know, showing up in my videos when I'm outside. They're always chilling. Whenever I go places, they always come near me, and they're always chilling out with me. So I feed them because I feel like they're my spirit guides. They're my angels. They're some of my ancestors are those birds. And they just have a profound knowing. They just know that they'll be fed, they'll be looked after. They believe, they have so much more faith in spirit than we as humans do. You know, even with all this intellect, even with all this logic, even with all, you know, the limbs and the arms and the legs, they have more faith than we do, you know. And we have access to food, we have access to water, we have access to all the nutrients that we need in this day and age. We have access to even government assistance and funding for the people who need it, so that they can go and eat. You know, we have so many reasons to believe, and yet the littlest things happen and we lose faith. We lose faith in ourselves, we lose faith and trust in God. And the only time you lose faith in spirit is when you've lost faith in yourself, fam. Because spirit lives within you. And when we lose faith and we disrespect ourselves like that, we're disrespecting the spirit without, because the spirit lives within. Right? When you start to love yourself, you start to respect yourself, you start to honor yourself, you start to give to yourself, you start to care for yourself, you start to nurture yourself, you're literally nurturing spirit. You're saying to God, thank you, I love you for everything you've done, for everything you've given me, for this beautiful body, for the beautiful food, for the beautiful oxygen on planet Earth, for all the birds and the bees. Without the bees, we wouldn't even be here right now. Without the trees, you know what I'm saying? So as I feed those birds, I see that they're so confident. They just know they're going to be fed. They come and they sit on the fence. They know what time it is. They're talking at 5 in the morning. They're like, are you up yet? Bruh, are you up yet? You know? And when I don't go, like if I sleep in on a day and I don't go, I feel it, you know, I can feel it in my soul, like, man, I should have fed them. So just know that as you step into that role of being a real model, not just a role model, being real, being true, being authentic to yourself, being the star that you are, being all that you came here to be, you're going to be looked after, you're going to be provided for. The universe is going to be like, yeah, this person is ready. They've answered the call, they're ready, and we're going to look after them because they answered the call. That's not to say that you're not going to have, you know, little things, adversities come up along the way. It's not to say, like I said, you're going to have little mountains that you're going to have to climb along the way to make sure that you stay strong, to make sure that your legs are healthy, you're strong, you know, you're good, you're going to keep going. It's like, if you stop the gym for a little while, you'll notice it, you know. If you keep going and you're consistent with it, you'll be good at it. You'll get stronger and stronger every time. So it's the same thing, fam. You know, with your emotional, with your spiritual, with your mental stability. Fam. The temple path, right? It's all about walking that path. It's all about allowing yourself to keep going, no matter what, no matter the adversities, right? Here we go. The deceit and the storm warning card. No matter the adversities, no matter the stuff that comes against you, no matter how many ops or how much, you know, of the darkness tries to come against you, when you realize that it's just an illusion, when you realize that it's just to help you get through your path, it's like playing a game. When you're playing a game and you're the main character in the game, have you noticed how all the games is the bad guys that are trying to kill you, and you're trying to get through the game and you're trying to win, and along the way you pick up all these, like, you know, you pick up $100 here, you pick up a mushroom there, you know, all those things, right? Those things that you're picking up along the way, and they're filling up your energy source and they're filling up your supply, that's the tools, that's the resources, that's the meditation, that's the yoga, that's the light language, that's the energy clearing, that's the Reiki, that's the healing, that's all that stuff, right? It's filling you up. But when the bad guy comes, you might go down a little bit, because I mean, look at this guy. Look at this guy, right? Whew, like, we're just gonna put him back here, right? And the storms are gonna come. So sometimes storms are gonna come. You're gonna have to like weave your way around it, you know. If you see it like that, that's why people say sometimes life is a game. Life is like a game. You gotta know the game, fam. You gotta know how to play the game, fam. So think about some of the games that you've played, Pac-Man, whatever it is, Alex the Kid, Sega, PlayStation, you know, Xbox, whatever you play. Think about how those games work, and then relate it back to your actual life, and you'll see the correlation, and you'll start to understand that as you get through these storms, every level is a new devil. The greater the level, the greater the devil, they say, right? So every single level you're gonna have a new bad guy, a bigger bad guy, or a more scary looking bad guy. But every single time you defeat them, you go up to the next level, you go up these steps, you go up, right? And you keep going. And once you realize that, nothing can stop you, fam. Right now you need to go in and get some rest. Get some rest, get some time to rejuvenate, allow yourself to heal, allow yourself to release, allow yourself to cry. Again, like I said at the beginning of this video, do what you need to do at this time, because it's going to help you to release these attachments, the attachments to any identities, any ego identity that you have, the attachment to any people that you have, the attachment to just anything outside of yourself, any codependent patterns, any addictions, any behaviors, any ways of doing things that you know don't serve you, but you're just doing it because it's like autopilot, it's on repeat, you've been doing it for so long, so it's just been programmed in. So any attachments that are in there, it's time for you to rest and reflect so you can go in and heal that, so you can bring more balance and alignment into your life, into your journey. Balance and alignment, and connect more with your heart space, reconnect with your heart space, and actually unlock that portal that we were talking about. The heart is the portal of manifestation and abundance, fam. So that downtime is going to help you to bring in this balance and bring that Parvati and Kali energy together and really help you to ground it. This is beautiful, fam. Oh, this is beautiful, fam. Right? It's just, I just want to keep going, but I'm going to stop right. Okay, I said I was going to stop, but anyway, I'm going to stop right there because I feel like it's just going to keep going. Otherwise, we can be here all night. That's what's going to help you to ground that energy. So another thing you can do is 2 chakras I can recommend right now. Actually 3 I can recommend just by looking at these cards is your heart chakra, your root chakra, and you want to do some work on your solar plexus as well, and the sacral is coming up here as well. So I would suggest do all 3 of your lower chakras and your heart chakra at this time. If you can work on those, because that's what's going to help you to ground the higher knowledge into planet Earth. Men are usually more physically grounded. Their lower chakras are usually more online, and females, their higher chakras are usually more online, depending on energy. So, you know, you could be a male with more feminine energy, or you could be a feminine with more masculine energy. It really depends on the energetic, your energetic circumstances, right? But in general, from what I'm seeing here, and for this particular collective, whoever's resonating with this, try and work from the heart down, or the root up, because it's going to really significantly help you at this time to ground yourself amongst any chaos, amongst any storms, amongst any adversities, amongst any trials and tribulations, and, you know, little speed bumps coming in the way trying to stop you, amongst all the fear and anxiety and nervousness and tension. It's going to help you to ground yourself and stay steady and stable. If you can get out into the sun, I know where I am, there's not a whole lot of sun right now, but this sun energy is, you know, if you can get out and do some sun gazing, do it. If not, get out and do some moon gazing. Lay down underneath the moon, lay down underneath the sun. Either of these energies is really going to help you right now. The sun's going to help you to ground more and help with your lower chakras. The moon's going to help you to receive more intuitive messages and open up your intuition and open up your crown chakra and your third eye chakra, so that you're able to have the vision of foresight and really utilize your vision of foresight and know what needs to be done next. In doing that, fam, you're walking away. So you'll be able to walk away from what's not serving you. You'll have the strength and the stamina. You'll have been, you know, through this process of all this healing, you will have healed enough and grounded yourself enough to be able to walk away and come out from this gate, come out from the gate and come out from hiding. You know, many of the light workers and starseeds, many chosen ones have always been out of their power. They've always been kept out of this energy, even though everybody around them knew that they were the star, even though, you know, people can feel it, people can sense that about you since you were born, right? And you knew it yourself, that you were here to be something greater than, you know, what the world taught you that you needed to be, right? So you've been kept behind this gate, but sometimes it's a mental prison that we keep ourselves in. Sometimes it's not even other people anymore, it's us, because of the conditioning and the programming and the trauma. We keep ourselves back. So it's time to heal that. It's time to do some positive affirmations to reaffirm to yourself that you are a confident person, that you are the star of the show, that you are vibrant, that you are uplifted, that the universe is always looking out for you. The universe loves you. God, Creator, Source loves you. You know, it's time to walk away from the old thought patterns, the old mind frames, the old ways of, you know, the old limiting belief systems, and reprogram all of that, because that's what's opening up this door to personal healing and happiness. So right now, that's what's happening, fam. You're going through a bit of a gateway where, you know, this door is opening up for personal healing and happiness. And with this door, I'm seeing so many other doors opening for you. So yes, the heart chakra and the sacral chakra, as you heal these chakras, as you finally let go of the pain of the past, if there's any sexual traumas, if there's any creative blocks, start creating more. That's going to help with your sacral chakra as well. So create whatever it is that you like to create, and do that, you know, like really, even if you're not in the mood, just pick up a piece of paper and a pen and start doodling, or just start writing a song, or just start rapping something out, or just, you know, whatever you need to do, just move a little bit so you can get your creative energies flowing. Yoga is going to help with that. Working out is going to help with that. However you like to work out. If you go to the gym, go to the gym. If you want to go for a walk, go for a walk. If you want to go for a swing, go for a swing. However your creative energies are gonna, you know, however you like to utilize them. And in doing that, you're going to be opening up this door to value and this door to romance, right? So prosperity and abundance. I've been saying that a lot for this collective, you know, and you're probably hearing that a lot lately, and it's been coming through in all of my readings. Remember, fam, energy does take time to ground into the physical reality. You have to think about where this reading started and where you're at, the releasing phase, and you know, the healing that's required through this gateway, the healing that's required in the transition to get to this, to allow this to happen, you know, because if you're closed off, if your heart is hurting, if your heart is not functioning at its optimal peak, it's going to be very hard for you to attract love. It's going to be very hard for you to attract money. And when you do attract either one of those things, it's going to be very hard for you to hold on to or keep it in a way where you're not codependent on it, or you're not fearing losing it again, right? So when you've done all this healing, when you're doing all the internal work, when you're grounding yourself every day, when you're feeling solid and stable within yourself, when these doors open, you're open as well. You're ready to receive, and you're not afraid. You're receiving because you know it's coming. It's like the birds. They're sitting on the fence. They know it's coming. They know the food's coming. They're not sitting there like stressed out and worried about, oh, I'm not going to get fed tomorrow or the day after, the day after. They know it's coming. So with all this healing, you get that confidence, you get that strength to know no matter what, it's on its way. I got this, you know what time it is, right? So those doors open up, and that's when, you know, these appreciation. So self-appreciation, self-love, right? You're this angel of love, whether you're masculine or feminine, doesn't matter. But as you appreciate and love yourself, you're going to be attracting people, situations and circumstances, and even love that's going to appreciate you and love you for who you are. They're going to see you and appreciate this energy about you. They're not going to be afraid of your strength. They're not going to be afraid of your ability to manifest. They're not going to be afraid of you being a star. They're not going to try and bring you down, or, you know, cut your grass, or, you know, like make you feel lesser than, because they are going to see that about you, and they're going to value that. They're going to respect that about you because you respect yourself. Right? They're most likely, if you're respecting yourself, you're loving yourself, you're appreciating yourself, you're going to magnetize someone to you that loves and appreciates and respects themselves as well, right? So you're both going to be like most likely in awe. Okay? And lucrative opportunities, you know, door to value. When you love and respect yourself, when you open up, when you step up to the plate, when you step onto that stage and you're like, you know what? Have you noticed how Beyonce, you know, I always use like different people and different analogies, right? So Beyonce, when she is, you know, just living her normal everyday to day life, she's quite shy. And believe it or not, I can be shy and introverted too. I'm shy and introvert on one side, and I'm like extrovert and extremely confident and in another side, right? And I love and accept and embrace both of them. But this is with Beyonce, she's very shy, right? But then when she gets on stage, Stasha Fierce comes on, and all of a sudden it's like she's just she's performance mode. She, you know, her higher self comes on, she clicks in, all aspects of her multidimensional self click in, and she just delivers. She's on stage, she's doing what she's got to do, right? So that's how I feel in terms of like my higher self. I call her Shorty Love, right? And then Annette is me. So Annette is very graceful, peaceful. She's very nurturing. You can hear that come through in my healing energy, in my yin energy when I deliver the light languages. But when I come on and I do a reading, when I'm talking to someone, when I'm giving guidance, when I'm delivering messages, when I'm rapping, when I'm performing, it's like my Shorty Love comes on, you know, and my yang energy comes on, my masculine energy, my actionary energy comes on. And once you're able to embrace and accept all of that, right, that's just two aspects of me. I have many aspects of me, right? Many aspects, and I love all of them. It's multidimensional, fam. We're multidimensional. We're not meant to be one way. We're not robots. We're not AI. We're not robots. We're meant to express different aspects of ourselves. We're meant to be multifaceted beings, and we are. We all are. That's just like saying, you know, if one person cooks, they shouldn't clean. Right? You can do whatever you want to do while you're here on planet Earth. You can do whatever you want to do because you're spirit in physical form. You're not just this physical human person. You're a human being. You're a being. You're allowed to be whatever it is that you want to be. You're allowed to express yourself in whatever way, shape, or form that you want to express yourself. You're allowed to come forth however is in your highest good and the highest good of all. As long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not bringing harm to the earth and you're lowering its vibration, as long as whatever you do is from a space of, you know, goodness, high vibrations, helping, assisting, healing, uplifting, you're all good, fam. Right? So I'm going to just pull a couple more messages. And I did see this one, yeah. I saw this at the bottom of the deck before. Self-respect. So Archangel Michael is coming through with the self-respect. So respect yourself, fam. If there's things that you need to remove yourself from, if there's things that you know you need to temporarily cut off even, or if there's things you need to permanently cut off, listen to your heart. Listen to what feels right for you. Only you know. Your soul knows what's right for you. Your soul knows what to do next. You just have to take that downward time and that time to meditate and that time to rest and relax so you can hear yourself speak, so your higher self can speak to you, through you. All right, so self-respect, you know, at this time. These two come up through a lot. So go forward fearlessly and forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. So if you need some time to forgive yourself, sometimes when you've been putting up with people's shit or putting up with, you know, abuse for so long, and then you decide to cut it off, you might feel bad about it. You might actually feel guilty for it. But Spirit is saying forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. You've done the right thing. You're cutting karmic cycles. You're breaking karmic ties. You're ending soul contracts that are no longer serving a good purpose. You know, now they're just like taking you down. They're like debt more than they're an asset at this point, right? So at this stage, it's like you're breaking generational curses. You're breaking generational patterns, ancestral curses that have been looming over your family, looming over the bloodlines of your parents and through your parents. And you're helping, not as you set yourself free, you're setting them free too. As you cut the crap, you're not just removing yourself from the pain and the trauma, you're actually helping them to heal too. Whether they see that or not, that's not your, you know, that's not on you. It's up to each individual to recognize that, right? As long as you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, as long as you know where your heart is, as long as you know you're pure and your intentions are pure, the rest, you know, you leave it to the Most High. So forgive yourself, fam. Anything you feel like you've perceived that you've done wrong or mistakes that you've made, it's all part of the experience. Embrace it as that. It's not, we're not supposed to be perfect. We're perfectly flawed, right? But in our flaws is perfection. So you just have to understand that Spirit, everything that Spirit created is perfect in its own way. We don't have to be perfect as per what society says. We have to be perfect in the sense that we're being true to ourselves. That in itself is perfection. You know, being who you really are, that's perfection. It doesn't matter what it looks like to everybody else. You don't have to look a certain way, act a certain way, speak a certain way, be a certain way. Be who and what you are. You know, allow different aspects and facets of yourself to come through when they're needed. Allow your healer to be there when healing is required. Allow your nurturer to be there when nurturing is required. Allow your teacher to be there when teaching is required. Just allow yourself, fam. And forgive yourself through the process. You've done nothing wrong. Go forward fearlessly, fam. I feel very strongly that whoever's resonating, this collective that I'm reading for, whoever's resonating with this, you're ready, right? You're ready to move forward. You're ready to pick up that call. You're ready because you're starting to realize that you hold the light, you hold the key. It's actually making sense to you now that like everything that's happened to you up until now has happened for a reason. It's happened for your highest good. It's happened to bring you to this stage. You wouldn't be watching this reading otherwise, you know. So I'm going to just get a soul to soul card. This is a question that you can have, you know, a conversation you can have with your own soul and ask yourself. 2 came out. So we've got, what books have changed your life for the better? So yeah, maybe think about some of the stories that you've read that have inspired you, that have actually clicked in. For me, that book was The Alchemist. When I left my safe job and at Apple and decided to just go on a whim to India to do yoga teacher training, and I had no idea about yoga. Like, I wasn't interested, really. I wasn't at the time. I was a gym junkie at the time. Was not interested. But on that flight, I read The Alchemist, and the portion of The Alchemist that I read resonated with me so much, and I didn't even realize I left the book on the plane, so I wasn't meant to read the rest of it until later on, and then it came to me again later on. So that was for me, you know. So there might be a book like that that has come through in your life that you've read and resonated with, and if you haven't, like, I'm not a big reader of books. I've never been a big reader of books. I receive all my information energetically, you know. I receive all my information through my chakras mostly. But the very few books that I have read, they came at the right time, and you know, and even just reading 1 or 2 pages, I kind of knew what the whole book was about. I'm one of those people that can look at a book, put my hand on it, and I'll understand what information it's trying to tell me. So, you know, if there are books like that that you've even just seen the cover page of, just the title of, like if you've seen The Power of Now and you're just like, yeah, I need to be more in the moment, or I need to be more present, or whatever it is, think about it and be like, how is that helping me at this time? How did that impact me? Or maybe you want to go pick up a book that you've been thinking about, that if your soul is like, you know, trying to get you to have a look at, get you to have a read, get you to even like flip through a couple of pages, because it might have a message for you, you know. So allow yourself to just think about that for a little while and see what it means for you. What experiences have you had while traveling that have enlightened your spirit? So yeah, ask yourself that. Again, for me, it was India. India was the biggest shift for me on my spiritual awakening journey. It was like no other experience I've ever had, fam. And maybe one day I'll talk about it, but it's very touchy for me. I've tried talking about it, but I just don't do it justice, because it's more of an inside thing than it is something that I can explain. It's an experiential thing. So maybe you've had something like that where you've traveled somewhere and it was an experiential thing, and Spirit's drawing you back to that experience now so that you can remember something that happened there that will help you now. You know, something that happened along that stage of your journey that will help you to have more confidence and align more with what you're doing now. You know, help you to take that leap of faith and pick up and press the green button, right? And if you haven't, you know, done much traveling, maybe go somewhere. I always suggest this to people who feel stuck in a rut. Get in your car, Google a place you've never been to, maybe even around your areas, but a place you've just never been to. Somewhere that looks beautiful, somewhere that really draws your attention. Put it in maps and just go. And I guarantee you, when you go there, you'll discover something, or you'll find a message, or you'll see synchronicities, or you'll meet somebody that you're supposed to meet. You know, it's all the things that we do like that help us to remember who we really are. Remembrance. Again, I'm gonna say it one more time. Simba, remember who you are. That's just like, that's like my thing now, fam. So if I say that all the time, that's the new slogan for this channel. Simba, remember who you are. Remembrance. Yeah, you're coming into a remembrance of who you are. You're coming into a remembrance of yourself. You're coming into an understanding of how all the bits and pieces have played out in your life to help you to become the butterfly, to help you to evolve, to help you to grow, to help you to teach, to help you to, you know, be on your mission, align with your mission. Protection, been getting that a lot lately as well. So guys, protect yourselves, shield yourselves at this time. Call upon your angels and guides and any higher power that you believe in, whatever God you believe in, because the spirit and source creator works through all of them anyway. It works through Jesus, it works through Shiva, it works through Shakti, it works through Ganesh, it works through Buddha, it works through, you know, and it will work through you as well, you know. If you ask Spirit Source Creator to shield and protect you every day, if you see that orb of light around you every single day when you're grounding yourself, you're being protected. If you put out mirrors that reflect outwardly, then it'll help other people who are projecting onto you. It'll help to reflect it back to them what they need to heal. If you use things like, so this is Camphor. You can get this on the site. So Camphor is really good at releasing and healing and transmuting negative energy. This is Palo Santo. You can get that on the site. I'm currently out of sage, but I'll be restocking soon. So sage sticks as well I sell on the site. So there's a lot of things that you can get on the site. I also do spiritual baths. So this is purifying. So you've got grounding, purifying, and calming blends. and they help with, you know, the full moon and the new moon baths that you might have, bath rituals or anything like that. It helps you to release and remove the old energy and the toxins that are no longer serving you, so that you can invite in and receive more of the new energy. Trust, yeah, have faith. Trust the process that's unfolding. Trust that everything is happening in divine time. Trust that where you are now is exactly where you need to be to get you to where you need to go. Trust that spirit is looking after you. Trust, like the birds, that you will be fed, you will be clothed, you will be looked after, you will be protected. Trust that you will be protected. Call Archangel Michael to protect you and cut any cords at the end of the day. Call your power back to yourself and your energy back to yourself every single day. You know, do some mirror work. Do some mirror work where you look at yourself in the mirror every day and say some positive affirmations of protection. This is so cool. And give yourself time in nature if you can. Nature will protect you naturally. The essence of nature. Even if you go to a tree, put your hands on trees and ask them for protective energy, they'll help you with that as well. You know, pray. Keep yourself prayed up. Keep yourself protected, because again, like I said, we're in spiritual warfare, but it's not something that I want to drill into you to the point where you start to be afraid of it or fear it or think that, you know, oh shit, like if I get out there, you know, I'm going to be in the battle zone. I'm going to be in the middle of a war zone. It's more so something that's like, when you're aware, when you're conscious of it, you can take action towards protecting yourself. You can take action that's going to actually help you. You're going to shield you through that. You just have to put up your shield, right? When Neo realized who he was in the Matrix, he just used to put his hands up, bullets coming, and it's like, tick, and fall straight down, because he realized he had that power, right? Yeah, again, rest and clarity. So we've already spoken about both of these things. Take the time to rest. It's going to bring you the clarity that you need. The light bulb moments are going to happen about what you need to do next, how you have to do it. If you're planning to make some really big drastic changes or leaps of faith or big moves, that rest and that time out, that downtime and that healing is going to give you the clarity that you need to figure out how to take that leap of faith and what exactly it is that you need to do to move forward and progress on your journey. So guys, I hope that this reading has helped you. Take care, stay blessed, stay high vibing, and I will catch you in another now moment. Peace.